The Oliveira Makhachev fight, that's the big one. That's the big one because there's so many questions. And, you know, Oliveira has never fought a grappler like Islam.
No.
But Islam's never fought a guy who can submit people like Oliveira can. Oliveira fucks everybody up. The thing about Oliveira is everybody looks at Oliveira at his lowest points. And his lowest points, you know, Cub Swanson knocked him out, Paul Felder smashed him, all these people beat him, but something happened when that dude had a kid. That's what it is. That dude had a daughter. And there's a fire inside of him like the fucking center of the sun. And I don't know what it is, man, but he's a different human, man. He goes right into the line of fire, too.
Straight.
He's not taking any shortcuts. There's no, it's all risk. He goes right in and he's 100% confident. It doesn't matter how hard you hit him, he's going to be fine.
But he ain't facing no, either one of them haven't faced.
No, either like each other.
I told you in 2019, them guys was different.
They're different. They're different.
It's especially when it comes to grappling.
Oh yeah, man. Makhachev smooshes people. He gets a hold of them, and they're not going anywhere.
And they say he's so strong. And Javier Mendez has said this publicly, so I'm not saying anything that Javier believes Makhachev is better than Khabib. All around as a fighter, he's always said that. Like you can go back and find it. Like he feels Islam is that guy. I'll do him a nap. RIP to him. Felt like he was that guy. I truly just don't see Islam losing, man. It's just something about that guy. I don't know. He is special.
He is special.
And that's what makes this fucking fight exciting.
You see, he's been around a long-ass time. But he came into his own over the last few years, which kind of makes sense. Like he figured it out somewhere around 27, 28. But he comes, look, these guys are elite, right? They come close to beating him, but he finds a way to beat them. And the way he does it is so final. The way he beat Poirier, man, that choke was so fucking good. It was so good. Yeah. And that's the same way the world found out about him was Efrain Escudero, who won the Ultimate Fighter. So, who was a very good fighter himself. He fought Oliveira, and Oliveira took his back same way, standing up, and choked him out. And that's when we first saw him. And the first time I recognized him, like, man, this kid is talented. But then it was like his jiu-jitsu was really good, but maybe his striking wasn't as good as his jiu-jitsu. And then slowly his jiu-jitsu and striking merged, where he's like equal. In both of them, he's lethal in. He's lethal in his striking and lethal in his jiu-jitsu. But the difference is his level of jiu-jitsu is a leap higher than most of the people he's competing against.
I didn't realize that.
He has the most submissions in the history of the UFC.
Michael Chandler fight. A guy that had great wrestling. Michael Chandler could fucking wrestle.
Yeah.
He was dominating Oliveira. Oliveira didn't submit Mike. He TKO'd him.
Yeah.
So in terms of grappling,
right,
Mike was destroying Oliveira, almost finished him.
Well, Oliveira, Chandler caught him. He caught him and hurt him.
Yep.
And then one of the things that Oliveira does when he gets hurt, he just goes right to his back.
That's some Nate Diaz shit.
It's smart because his guard is nasty. His guard is so wicked.
What did he do with Gaethje? Did Gaethje go into his guard?
No, Gaethje kind of stepped back out. But he cracked Gaethje. Gaethje said
first 8 seconds.
Something about the way he hit him. He said he hit him so hard he felt it in his tongue.
Yeah.
He's like, it's just like he goes like that guy can.
He said he never got hit like that before, and that's scary.
Is wild.
Oliveira's big, bro.
He's big.
But still, he's going to have to be careful. If he wants to be the champ, if he wants to win this one and go home with another shiny belt against Islam Makhachev, he's going to have to be perfect. Because Islam doesn't make mistakes. He's on I think it's a 10-fight win streak. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-fight win streak. How many decisions? 1, 2, 4 decisions in there. 6 stoppages, 4 decisions. So that's a tremendous win streak. But it's the way that he does them. He goes out there and he's almost perfect in his approach. When he beat Bobby Green, that was his last win in round 1, 3 minutes, 23 seconds. It was pure one-way traffic. It was absolutely clinical the way that he took out Bobby Green. Prior to that against Dan Hooker, come on, I challenge you to find a cleaner performance other than a one-shot knockout. He went out there against Dan Hooker, timed the double leg perfectly, sat him down on the canvas, passed the side control, stepped over, Kimura, I mean, that's perfect. That's what you want to do as well. You don't want to take damage like Charles Oliveira does. But as I say, that is what makes him probably the most exciting fighter in the UFC.
Well, here's what's interesting about Charles Oliveira. When Charles Oliveira fights, even though he's the champion, he fights like a berserker. He puts himself in danger. Like, he doesn't fight safe. He doesn't fight to try to outpoint you. He doesn't fight tactically, like where he's trying to get, the least amount of damage and drag you into deep water and then strategically try to take you out the fourth and fifth round. No, from the moment the first bell rings, he's coming at you,
engaging,
guns blazing, and Gaethje was coming at him too, but. It's like Gaethje was overwhelmed by Oliveira's pace and his aggression. It's why, and even when Gaethje cracked him, Oliveira's so different than anybody else. When he gets hit, he just lays on his back.
Yeah.
And he's like, come get some of this. And nobody wants that
he
guard
gets a
game.
break. So
He's got the most submissions in the history of the sport.
He recovers.
Yes,
so
because nobody wants to go to the ground with
Right.
him.
Normally, guys would just come bombing in.
Yeah.
Just try to land anything extra. It's like
Yeah.
when you wound an animal, any other arrow in it is
Right.
go. You're just
Right.
trying to glance something off, catch something. Most time, guys will hurt a guy, come in and just go crazy. But not with him.
No, you don't want that ground game.
Yeah.
His ground game is so elite. It's so good. I mean, I wonder how he would do in a world-class Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament. Because I think he would do very well. Because I watched the way he finishes submissions, the way he syncs things up. I mean, it is top of the food chain stuff. I've seen a lot of jiu-jitsu in my days. I've rarely seen anyone compete in MMA that closes the show like Oliveira when the fight goes to the ground.
It was
His
smooth.
shit is razor sharp. Razor
Smooth.
sharp. Jiu-jitsu is a wild thing. Like, there's guys that are smaller than me, and I'll grapple with them, and I'm in deep danger from the moment you start sparring, because they're just so much better than me. They're just better, and that's the difference between Oliveira and these guys. It's like they're all really good standing up. He's really good standing up. So there's kind of like an even playing field. But when that motherfucker gets a hold of you, you're in deep danger.
Yeah.
Terrifying danger where you can't make any mistakes.
He's like, it's like it's him and Khabib are scary that way. Where it's like,
Yes.
because after that fight, I went back and watched like all his highlights and all. Because
Yes.
you hear that, and it's like, there's a precision, there's a predator like precision where he pounces on the, like, as soon as you give him an opening.
Yes.
it's a wrap.